It was a crisp autumn evening when Eleanor Frost returned to her small hometown of Mill Haven. She hadn't been back in years. Not since the night she graduated high school and left for the city. Life had taken her down a winding road of late-night fast food runs, cubicle-bound days, and a gnawing sense of dissatisfaction when her 10-year high school reunion popped up on social media. Eleanor almost ignored it. But then something changed. She saw a picture of herself in an old college photo. Her face rounder than she remembered. Her eyes carrying a wariness she couldn't deny. That night, she stood in front of her bathroom mirror and made a decision. "I'm going to change," she whispered to herself. And she did. Eleanor dove headfirst into a new lifestyle. She subscribed to every health app, joined an exclusive gym with a personal trainer, and radically shifted her diet. Day by day, she saw her body transform. The pounds melted away, her muscles toned, and her confidence skyrocketed. But the changes weren't just physical. Eleanor began to notice something odd about her reflection. At first, it was subtle. A glimmer in her eyes that didn't match her mood. A fleeting smirk when she wasn't smiling. She chalked it up to exhaustion from the grueling workouts and brushed it off. But as her reunion loomed closer, the anomalies became harder to ignore. 2 weeks before the big night, Eleanor stood before the mirror, admiring her new physique. She ran a hand over her sculpted abs and smiled at how far she'd come. But the reflection lingered longer than it should have. Its smile sharp and cold. Eleanor blinked, and the image snapped back to match her movements. She stumbled back, her heart racing. "You're just tired," she told herself, though her voice trembled. The day of the reunion arrived, and Eleanor felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She slipped into a sleek black dress that hugged her new curves and turned to the mirror. Her reflection stared back at her. Perfect and poised. For once, it didn't feel off. Perhaps she had imagined it all. She thought. The reunion was held at the old community center. As she entered, heads turned. Gasps and whispers followed her as old friends and acquaintances failed to recognize the once overweight Eleanor Frost. "Ellie, is that really you?" her childhood friend Maddie exclaimed, wide-eyed. "It's me," Eleanor replied with a confident laugh, basking in the awe of her former classmates. The night unfolded like a dream. People who had ignored her in school now clamored for her attention. She caught glimpses of envy, admiration, and even a few longing stares from the people who had once teased her. Eleanor felt unstoppable. But then Maddie pulled her aside. "You look amazing, Ellie," Maddie said, her voice tinged with concern. "But something's different. Not just your body. You feel, I don't know, like someone else." "What are you talking about?" Eleanor laughed nervously. Maddie hesitated, looking into Eleanor's eyes. "It's just, your eyes. They're so dark. Like they're not yours." Eleanor brushed her off. But Maddie's words gnawed at her. She excused herself to the restroom to shake the unease. Standing before the mirror, she examined her face. Her reflection stared back with an intensity she didn't recognize. "I'm still me," she whispered. But the reflection grinned. A wide, eerie smile that didn't belong to her. Eleanor's breath hitched. She turned away. But when she looked back, her reflection wasn't moving. It leaned forward, pressing its hands against the glass. "You've changed, Eleanor," it whispered, though its lips didn't move. "And I've been waiting." Eleanor stumbled back, her heels clicking against the tile. What are you?" Quote, "I'm you," the reflection replied, stepping out of the mirror. "The version of you that you killed when you decided to change. But I'm not gone. I've just been waiting for the perfect moment to take over. Eleanor turned to run, but the bathroom door slammed shut. Her reflection, no, the thing that looked like her, blocked her path. It moved with an otherworldly grace, its eyes gleaming with malice. You wanted transformation, it hissed, but you didn't think about what you'd lose. Eleanor fought to scream, but her voice was gone. The last thing she saw was her own twisted smile as the creature lunged at her. The next morning, the reunion buzzed with gossip about Eleanor Frost's sudden departure. Maddie, however, couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She stopped by Eleanor's hotel room later that day, but no one answered the door. 2 weeks later, Eleanor reappeared online, posting selfies and workout tips as if nothing had happened. But those who knew her best couldn't help but notice something off about her photos. Her smile was too wide, her eyes too dark, and in every picture, if you looked closely, a faint outline of another figure loomed in the reflection behind her.